So from the viewpoint of course codes, because you will see the course codes when registering and all the rest, there is it's a bit of complication, because we got an overall overarching code that belongs to the Department of Biological Sciences. These are formal coding, but the course is designed as fully interdisciplinary and joint between the departments. So you shouldn't be thinking of yourself as belonging to one department or another. And this is a reason why we created the Maris Center. So the course code, you got an overall course code, and you got specific course codes for the various modules that you've seen in the previous schematic. So if you are registering, if you're interested in the applied marine biology, you will have fundamentals of applied ocean sciences that has its own course code, and a course code dedicated to applied marine biology with all specific sub-modules. If you are interested in the operational oceanography, you will have the same fundamentals of applied ocean sciences and one in operational oceanography. This one sits in the department as a course code of a department of oceanography. But your mini dissertation component can also be done in other departments and even in other faculties. So you would have a dedicated course code for that one. What are the prerequisites for admission? You need 4 years bachelor degrees, which means you need to have a research project to demonstrate that you have done previous, you have been exposed to individual research activities. And there is no specific requirement of knowledge for oceanography marine biology. So if you're coming from another university in which your main subject wasn't oceanography or marine biology, we are still going to consider you. And you are going to be eligible, because we are mostly interested in the attitude. We are mostly interested in what are your own interests in, if you are, in order to see and to generate this new type of ocean professionals. And this is why we also consider eligible students with a BA, with a Bachelor of Arts. We have a preference for students with a science background, and you will immediately understand why. But students with a BA are also to be considered and will be considered. We have had very good experience with BA students, but of course, some of them didn't cope because of the quite relevant component dedicated to scientific subjects. So we are looking for an average of 65% in science subjects, or if you have a majority of other subjects from your BA, then it has to be a higher average. BA students are kindly requested, it's compulsory to write in their motivation letter how they will compensate for knowledge gaps in science subjects. And the reason is that in our foundational modules, we do have quite a large component of more technical and science-based subjects. So it's a total of 40 credits, this foundational modules, approximately 12 weeks, but the time tends to change. And coming from the past 2 years of pandemic, we know well how important and relevant is that we are plastic and ready to react to changes. So courses are hybrid, partly online and partly face-to-face. The first one that the students will see is an introduction to applied ocean sciences, which is quite a large component, 15 credits, and it's distributed among 5 different lecturers with separate. So this is a sub-module of the big foundational module, but it's also made of several interactive components, because you will be exposed to the concept of social ecological systems, ocean governance, physical oceanography, commercial oceanography with a dedicated small research cruise, ecological oceanography, and a field trip studying intertidal environment, and project management. So these are all introductory components, so they will take you, depending on your initial background, they will compensate and complement for some of the knowledge that is necessary to build this foundational springboard that will take you further into, at the very end, we hope, towards a full appreciation of the importance of interdisciplinary sciences in the ocean field. Then we need the more technical pillars. So one is related to scientific computing and data management, that is 10 credits. And then the other one is numerical skills and statistics, 15 credits. It's usually, the number of credits is also linked to the duration of the course. This is about 4 weeks, and this is about 3 weeks, distributed over time. These are the ones in which you will be working with scientific tools and programming. So there's an introduction to Python in the scientific computing and data management, and an introduction to R. So you will be doing your practices, your practicals, and you will be studying by means of using examples and computations and calculations that will require the use of computers, because this is an essential component. So even if you haven't had any programming course, we will take you there. But if somehow you feel some gaps in scientific subjects, adding on top of them, and on top of those gaps, adding the additional need to learn in a quite short amount of time a programming language and how to apply it, that would become a bit overwhelming. This is why for the BA students, it's quite important that they understand that this is going to be a steep pathway, but it's a very rewarding one. And we do need, because of the importance of interdisciplinary understanding, we do need this kind of people. Moving on to the 2 more specialized modules, I will start with the stream on applied marine biology. And these are the main courses that are related to introduction to South African fishery, marine conservation, ecosystem approach to fisheries and decision analysis, aquaculture, marine law, plus 1 elective from the interdisciplinary modules that I will list in a while, but they are also coming from the other stream. Some of the lecturers are here, so you may ask for further information on the specific syllabus. In the interest of time, I'd like to move to the specialized modules on operational oceanography. That we have 1 course that takes the same name as the stream. Operational oceanography is divided into an introduction to marine services and products and applied meteorology. They are mostly done online. Actually, I would say quite entirely done online. The first one is because the lecturer is from Norway, and the second one because it actually requires online activities in the majority of cases, how to obtain information and how to produce particular meteorological products. Then there is a dedicated component on ocean instrumentation and monitoring. This is specialized towards open ocean observations. So the course is not fully open ocean, but this ocean instrumentation and monitoring is mostly open ocean because the majority of open ocean instruments are actually used also in the coastal system. But not only. The exposure on coastal system, the initial range of instrumentation that are mostly used in coastal observations is done in the foundational course. This component expands further on those ones. Then we have marine biogeochemistry with a laboratory component, earth observations, and 1 additional elective from the interdisciplinary modules that I'm just gonna go through them, and you'll see they are coming from the other streams, but not only, because we have an addition, which is multivariate analysis. Multivariate analysis is strongly hinged on statistics. So you need a quite strong statistical background that will be given by the numerical skills component in the foundational. It relies on biological examples, but it's a very much interest for the operational oceanography component. So this is why these interdisciplinary modules is not compulsory in none of the in the the two additional streams, but it's quite warmly recommended for everyone to learn how to work with the multiple information from field observations and from a variety of data streams in the ocean. Then marine law, introduction to South Africa fisheries and aquaculture and earth observation. These ones are the ones that we strive, and we make sure that the timetable allows students from one stream to attend the other one. It's a pretty complicated intersection to have this done, and you may imagine how complicated it has been during the pandemic to make sure that all of this was working fine. We do our best to give this opportunity to students from the operational oceanography to be exposed to aquaculture, because that's the majority of operational oceanography products are of interest to aquaculture. But on the other hand, to know how we can observe at larger scale, or what kind of instrumentations are available through satellite in the Earth observations module for the applied marine biology students. Then an additional course, which has some additional prerequisites because of the slightly more mathematical background that it entails, is related to Introduction to Numerical Ocean Models. Some modeling is done also in the previous course, like for instance in the specialized module in the ecosystem approach to fisheries, there is a component on ecosystem model. So you are already exposed to that one, but if you're more interested in understanding what are the underlying components of numerical models, this is the dedicated course that is an online version, fully online. Then at an additional cost for students, we have a diving course. It's additional cost, but not as expensive as it would be if you would register to this course. It doesn't give any credit, but because many students are interested into that, this is an opportunity that we give. Then talking about the mini-dissertation, it's 90 credits, is by definition smaller in scope than the research master, which is 180 credits, because you got additional 90 credits on the due to the coursework. All students are encouraged to liaise with lecturers during the year according to the interest and performances. Of course, a lecturer will propose a certain topic depending on how you performed during that module. Topics may cover any aspect of the applied ocean sciences, from the coastal to the open ocean environment, socioeconomical aspects, and impacts on human activities. The course code depends on the department where the dissertation is hosted, usually oceanography or biological sciences, but we also have environmental and geographical sciences, and had other cases of students with the Faculty of Law or the Faculty of Engineering. But these have to be, these possibilities have to be considered case by case. Then this is just in openuct.ac.za. You have access to all the master theses, and you can look for the thesis in applied ocean sciences. This is just a few of them from some of the students. Some topics: impact of the Agulhas current on storm development, benthic metrics as indicators of human disturbance in a marine-dominated lagoon, or using mean oceanographic properties towards marine protected areas, or using seasonal mass balance models of the Algoa Bay ecosystem to investigate African penguin and small pelagic fish interactions, or going into the Southern Ocean, for instance, how to study seawater property dynamics in the marginalized zone using animal-borne observations. So you see there's a variety of topics spanning many different aspects of the very complex marine system that we know, and particularly the so interesting marine system that we have around Southern Africa.